What's up, everybody? Brett here, and I'm back today, super excited and happy to be bringing you the beginnings of our new series. It's going to be, what am I going to call it? I was thinking about this. I think we're just going to call it like company origin testing. But anyway, guys, I've kind of thought about this a lot in the last few days, the parameters for what I want this series to be. And these are kind of the ground rules. So we're going to go origin by origin. We're going to skip over rebuilding a company, a new company. These two have been done to death. We're also probably going to skip over Northern Raiders, although we might do it just to a shorter extent. But my idea is to start these campaigns, pretty much everything at veteran to medium difficulty, and just to try and survive, to get to a point in the campaign where we're really stable, and the only thing that we can do to lose is to either lose a major battle or to sabotage ourselves economically, which is just not going to happen. So that's kind of my idea. As far as like setting a date, like maybe day 30, I was thinking would be a pretty solid point. By that point, you've got some raider gear, your economy is a bit stable, you're taking quests that you can survive, and yeah, I think those are pretty fair parameters. But for now, our first campaign is going to be the Peasant Militia, and I did a bit of a dry run. And I was actually surprised how jarring it is for me to play this, because I do not like losing people. I can't stand losing people. And you'll see here that this Peasant Militia start is a 1 skull, so it's considered the easiest start there is. And I understand why, but man, when you lose your first like 3 or 4 people in the first couple days, it feels really bad. So let me go ahead and read this to you guys without any further ado. It started as a ragtag militia made up of anyone brave or desperate enough to volunteer for defending their homes, but has grown into a small army, an army that needs to be fed each day. Perhaps the militia services could be rented out. So, I love the backstory they've given these guys too. We'll get into that once the actual campaign starts. But it says here, Peasant Army, start with a roster of 12 poorly equipped peasants. And the dry run that I did, I actually had a dude with a lute as one of my guys. And thinking back on it, I should have used him to stun somebody, because I still don't think I have that achievement yet. Stunning someone with the lute. So human wave, take up to 16 men into battle at once and have up to 25 in your roster. But however, the negative here is dirty peasants. Can never hire anyone that isn't a lowborn peasant. And I think this balances out nicely. Having the extra 4 men is probably equal to having an entire team of hedge knights and sellswords and sword masters. It's probably about equal, but in the early game it should help you out a ton. So let's go ahead and get into here. I haven't really thought too much about how we're going to customize ourselves. I don't want to just like not do anything. What would be a good peasant banner? No, we know that's probably going to be the poacher banner. What do peasants like? I don't know. I've never been a peasant. That's kind of a cool peasant banner. I actually don't even know if I've ever even seen this banner before. Sometimes when a banner is like not my thing, I just I don't even notice it. So I do have one minor complaint. It seems like every campaign that I start recently gives me the exact same map. So I almost would be interested if any of you guys have some really different looking and fun map seeds for your campaigns. Feel free to put them in the comment section below so that I can try them out and get a feel for different maps. Because it seems like every time I start, I get the exact same map. And it's boring. Even the last one I did, like I said, the dry run with the peasants, my map, it had Dornan in the exact same place with almost an identical banner. So, it's like I don't know if something has changed since they launched the DLC, but I'm not sure. I don't know. What are we going to name our company? Dirty Peasants. Got it. Nailed it. A name to strike fear into the hearts of our enemies. We are Dirty Peasants. Let's give it a the. The Dirty Peasants. Alright. It almost sounds like a... if you guys ever watched the old Clint Eastwood spaghetti westerns. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the dirty peasants. So we're not going to do Iron Man mode, of course. Economic difficulty, combat difficulty, starting funds. We're going to leave them on veteran and medium. I think that's fine. If I was playing this for fun, I would give myself high starting funds and beginner level economic difficulty, because all it really does at the end of the day is ramp you out of the early game so that you can get to doing all the cool stuff. But the early game is definitely fun. And then combat difficulty, and I mentioned this last time when I started my last campaign, which is that this didn't always used to be the case. Beginner difficulties didn't always mean that you would get a small bonus to hit chance and the enemy would get a small penalty. It was just kind of a little bit of a nerf as to which units you would see early or late. And I actually wasn't that happy that they added this, but I can see why. Some people really don't enjoy the super hard mode of the campaign. So one more thing I want to say before we jump in is that whether this goes great or poorly, doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best, and it should give you guys a realistic view of the strengths and difficulties of each campaign. So I've done a lone wolf campaign already on my own, on veteran medium, and everything went awesome. I recruited an awesome crew of squires and militiamen, and we just took over. You know, I got great gear right off the bat, and just easy mode, right? But then I started this with the peasants, and I lost like half my dudes in like my first quest. So we'll see. Each different campaign is going to require a different amount of skill and a different type of finesse. You really have to build towards your strengths and weaknesses. But one of the things that I have to get over is losing people. I really can't stand to do that. So hunt down bandits, ward off raiders, trap wolves attacking the farmsteads, all in a militiaman's work. And if more is asked, then there is simply more to answer. All to keep your home of Thal safe. When a nobleman called on you, you and a group of ad hoc fighters took to the field in a battle between highborn. You didn't know their names or their quarry, only that once mustered, you and your men to the field. And so there you were. Unfortunately, a lowborn man with spear and shield is little more than a peasant with misgivings of warriorship. Your militia was used to hold a contingent of enemy knights in place, while your own side's archers rained hell from above, hitting knight and peasant alike, straight out of Braveheart. After the battle, you and your men fled the fields for good. You took up arms as sellswords and swore to one another by blood pact that you'd never have a highborn in your company. I love it. It's a good lore reason for this. A mercenary band of motley men, and that is that. We are our own lords. Awesome. And you can see our little peasant man with his straw hat as our icon. And did we get a good starting city? So we've never been here. Let's go ahead and visit. We'll take a second to look at our stuff, our dudes. But I can see here they already have a copper vein, so that'll allow for some trading and goat pins. Let's see what they have here. And they start off very friendly to us. Oh my god, we got lucky. We have an armorer and a taxidermist in our happy city. So they have ambush trade routes, which isn't good. I think that makes everything expensive, I do believe. Let's check real quick. The prices here are great, though. Yeah, the selection is lower. So, but I'm still not upset because this is a great start. In my dry run, my starting city, all it had was a harbor. So, I couldn't get my... You're basically getting a friendly place discount. That's a big part of this company origin. Alright, this map is a little different too. I'll take it. I'm kind of on the different side. I'm starting in the north. I like that. But a big part of this is that as a peasant, your home village gives you great deals, right? You start off very friendly. We're of course not going to do anything to piss these guys off, but it's amazing to start with this kind of relationship. And we're going to want to babysit this area for a long time, similar to what we did with Dornan in our last playthrough. Hopefully they give us, a nice easy contract. We're going to spend a lot of our crowns here, I feel like, on shields right off the bat. Let's see what the contract is. Hopefully it's not to move. So Sigmund of Thal sighs as he pushes a scrap of paper towards you. It is a list of crimes. You nod, observing that it is quite a lot of wrongdoing. The man nods back. 'Twas an affair of a mere criminal I'd spiff, a constable or maybe a bounty hunter. But I brought you here, Sellsword, because this is the work of barbarians. All that they've done, all that is listed there, I need done to them. They're a village northwest from here. I need you to pay them a visit and show that while we live with hearts and civilization, the spark of the wild has not yet left us. And that barbarian actions will be met with barbaric retribution. Understand? You now notice that the page of crimes is smattered with stricken feather tips, as though the one writing it got increasingly upset by its cataloging. I'm going to read some of these. I realized in the last playthrough that I didn't read enough, I think, some of the quests. For those of you who perhaps, only passively listen and don't actually, watch with your eyes. Let's accept these offers. The last thing we want to do is lower our standing with this city by asking for more money. Happy to get a 1 skull contract here. Even got a little bit of gold right off the bat. And let's take a look at our motley crew. Alright, so we have an athletic boy, Burke. He is a farmer. Stars are pretty pitiful. At least he has something in melee skill. We've got another farmer here who is cocky, messing up his defensive stats, and clumsy. Terrible. You're going to have to go at some point, man. Sure footing and hate for greenskins. This is Halston, and he's a poacher with stars in range defense, but not range skill, sadly. 3 stars in initiative, 2 stars in hit points. Okay, he's got a lot of stars, but not a lot of actual stats to back it up. But he's a good guy. What we can do, let's take all the characters that we know we want to make sure we try and hold on to. Let's put them in the back row, and then all the ones we think we'd be happy if they died, sadly, let's put them in the front row and see what happens. Dastard. That's bad. We'll start combat at wavering morale. That's no good. He's a vagabond, but he's got 2 stars in range skill, 1 in fatigue. He's kind of a toss-up. He could make a decent archer. And, if you get a kill right off the bat, this doesn't matter so much. It'll put him into confident. But that's still a pretty bad trait to have. We have Alfred here, who is a day teller. Man, look at all these terrible stars. Resolve and initiative. Like, there's just nothing to do with that. Okay. We've got a miller here who's a rational. And also faint-hearted. So, man, sometimes his morale will be at like minus 15. Or his resolve, rather. Okay. We're seeing what we're working with, guys. This guy is disloyal. Alright, Heribert. But he is determined. Well, I don't usually run out of money or provisions. So disloyal often is like a non-issue. And determined is good. So, I mean, he's got at least 1 star in fatigue, resolve. That'll help him fill the gap. Alright, a militia. I love militia. They're one of my favorite backgrounds. But he's also paranoid. Okay, that wrecks his initiative, which isn't a big deal because it also gives him melee defense and melee and range defense. So this is definitely going to be a great tank, bro. And you know what? While I'm here and while I'm looking at him, let's give him this weapon, the Scramasax. Put him down on this row. Whoa, 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 Oswald. You minstrel, you. What do you have? He's ailing. So poison effects last 1 additional turn. Not a big deal at all. And his weapon is in poor condition. It's just a crappy loot. I would love to stun someone with this. We're going to hold on to it. We're not going to use it. But we're going to hold on to it until we're armored. And then we'll smack someone with the loot. So let's just take that off of him. But look at this guy's stats. Plus 2 in melee skill, 1 in range skill. He would make probably a really good hybrid. But with 3 in melee defense and 2 in melee skill, that tells me basically everything I need to know. This guy's either going to be a 2-hander. Yeah. Something like that. So, man, you're in the club, Oswald. You made it, man. Alright, and here we have Sigurd the Shepherd. Okay, he hates greenskins. This is a shield bro if I've ever seen one. You're in, buddy. Okay, and Gunner is another militiaman. Starts with decent melee skill at 62, that's not bad. 2 stars in melee defense and HP is also good. Yeah, you're in here, Gunner. And then Magnus here is another Dayteller. He's fearless. Cool. Might be a good... Might make for a decent sergeant candidate, depending. But I could see making him super tanky between his HP and melee defense bonuses. All in all, guys, I'm very happy with our group here. These are the 4 that we don't really care if they live or die, sadly. They're also wearing junk for gear. We'll take the gear off of them right now. And make sure that the correct brothers have the correct gear. So let's make a bit of a formation. War forks in the back. These guys in the front. And we can put our... let's put them back here. Happy that we did get 2 sling staffs. That's pretty cool. And now we need to buy shields. We have no armor. What are they offering here? I mean, we'll take any weapons we can get at this point. Literally anything. We need helmets. We need shields desperately. But we only have 1,000 crowns. So what are we going to do? Well, let's buy the spear and the pickaxe. We'll also buy these 2 bucklers. Let's give something like that. We're going to really have to make do with what we have. We are just scrounging here. I'm going to try and prioritize the brothers that we think we want to hold on to. And let's go into the armory and see what they have for us. So we could buy another buckler at a pretty jacked up cost. Man, let's get 3 shields. That puts us to... It's our armor that's going to kill us. Our brothers are just going to straight up start dying. We've got 3 days worth. That's all we need. Two days worth. We're cutting it close. We barely have enough to outfit everyone. Buying that 1 extra shield might have been a bit greedy. But I think this is what we've got to start with. Man, do I sell the loot? The loot doesn't put us up and over. How much food do we have? We have 3 more days worth of food. Let's see where the place we're trying to get to is. Okay, it's right there. That's fine. And wish me luck, guys. We're going to our first battle. We're going to lose people. Almost guaranteed. And we don't want to spend too much on weapons and things because we'll probably get some from this place. But I figured the shields were a good investment. You find the village of savages, though from first glance they look an ordinary sort. Men, women, children. There's a blacksmith, a tanner, a one-eyed guy making arrows, and a huge executioner disemboweling corpses and washing the awful scum on a donkey. Whoa, that one. That one reminds you why you're here. I haven't seen that one before. That's awesome. So a few warhounds. Not cool with that. They might be more dangerous than the thralls. Interesting. So they have throwing weapons, of course. They're going to try and use those. See if we can land some hits. Okay, we did not. The idea here is that we're going to pass with our backliners. Step forward with these guys. Good hit. Alright, I'm happy to get even 1 hit. And now they're going to have to switch weapons. And we'll back them up here. Our most valuable assets, so to speak, are our polearms. It's our reach. This is a nice and, I will say this is a nice and easy start though. But I still expect to lose a person or two. Okay, we whiff on the dog. Alright, one dead. And we're going to get some throwing weapons. So generally my idea was to... We could step up. My idea was to try and put together a team of peasants. Like if I was doing this for fun on my own, what I would want to do is assemble a team that is completely made up of javelineers and shield bros in the front. And then a backline of like archers. I think if you were like peasants and you were poorly trained, those would be the weapons and things that you would gravitate towards. Oh yeah, and he's down. Remember, he's one of the bros we wouldn't mind sacrificing. Every miss though is just the worst. Okay. We'll make a bit of a defense here. I don't know if he's going to come to us or not. Alright, we missed sadly. Alright, he steps forward. Good. Happy we're not wasting all of our movement. And we got the high ground on the dog. That's good. And this is more than enough to fight off this one guy, especially if he steps in on our spear wall. Alright, let's see what they do. Ulfert's another guy we don't mind if he goes. Alright, almost. Okay, we missed the second attack. We could have pushed him off of us, but I think it's more important that we just do the damage. Like I said, I'm almost more scared of the dog than of these two guys. Getting some good injuries, and unfortunately we have no melee weapon. Alright, Ulfert goes down. As expected. And as long as we get his gear back, I'll be happy. We don't want to lose Burke, though. Or Halston. And they may not be dead. They might just be very injured. Alright, had to kill him before he got a chance to attack. And that's going to cause that thrall to rout. Yeah, missing the dog, even from the high ground, feels pretty bad. He very well may kill. Oh man, that was lucky. Double lucky. Okay, I'll take being double lucky. I'm very rarely double lucky. Sorry guys, these beginning battles in every campaign are always so intense. I figured he was going to run. Oh no. Didn't expect that, honestly. Well, that's 3 brothers down. The only person that I would want to engage this guy would be our boy Ernst here. It'd be nice if we could, man, a 9% chance. Are you serious? And we kill him! Unbelievable, but these 3 dudes did all die. Crazy. We get their shields and weapons back. That's good. And we get some throwing weapons for our trouble. Some amber shards. Some crowns. This was honestly a very lucrative fight for us. Oh, what? The battle over. Herbert beckons you over. In one of the tents is a barbarian nursing a wound. Men, women, and children litter the floor around him. The sellsword points to him. We chased the savage in here. I think that's his family all around him, or someone he knows, because he just collapsed and hasn't moved since. You walk toward the man and crouch before him. You tap one of his deerskin boots and ask if he understands you. He nods and shrugs. Little, you did this. Didn't have to, but did. Finish me or I fight with you. One, the other, all honorable. It seems he's offering his hand to fight with the company, no doubt part of some northern code that's foreign to yourself. He's also offering his head if you want that too, and he seems totally unafraid of giving it up. We need a man like this. You stare at the man, then take out your dagger and slice the inside of your palm, squeezing the blood. You toss the dagger to the barbarian and then hold your hand out, the blood dripping steadily. The savage takes the blade and cuts himself in turn. He stands and puts his hand out, and you shake. He nods. Honor, always. With you, the only way. All the way. The man stumbles out of the tent. You tell the men to not kill him, but instead to arm him, which raises some eyebrows. His addition to the company is unforeseen, but useful. The southern sellswords will get used to it in time, but for now the dirty peasants needs to return to Sigmund of Thal. Welcome to the dirty peasants. Guys, we did our entire Let's Play as barbarians and never found one. And we get one within our first quest. His stats aren't the best. But, I mean, we'll take him. He's definitely better than the guys that died, that's for sure. Nice. Is this weapon just straight up worse? It's 20 to 30. They're pretty comparable. Let's give him the bludgeon though. And he comes already leveled. That's great. So let's give him student. Plus, to keep him alive, we'll give him Colossus. As I'm wont to do. And we'll take melee skill. Man, his stats are already pretty great. Fatigue. And let's take... Let's take melee... Let's take melee defense. Let's level him up again. We'll take this 4, and this 3. Sometimes it's pretty wrong to not take a melee skill point, even if it's only 2. But I think we're going to easily be able to get him up into the, maybe even like the low 80s by the time he's leveled, which is fine. I foresee him probably being a shield bro, and that's a fine number to be at for a shield bro. But we did it, guys. We spread experience pretty thin since there are so many brothers. But we also have some serious injuries. Let's head back to Thal. But how awesome is that? We pick up our Barbarian, and I would almost consider a Barbarian to be like a mid to upper tier character. Probably more of a mid tier. So for us to get him in our Peasant squad, I mean, that's pretty awesome. So Sigmund of Thal is in the company of a group of sobbing women. He's consoling them, and when you enter, he stands and points you out to them. Behold the man who has slain those who murdered your husbands. The women wail and clamber to you one after the other, and you know what to do besides nod sternly and stoically. Sigmund of Thal is the last of the crowd to find you, a chest of crowns in his arm and a wry smile on his lips. You take your pay and the man returns to the women. There, fine ladies. The world will see a new dawn. Please come with me. Does anyone want wine? Yeah, I remember this. He's creeping on those widows. Unappropriate. Okay, and we get another contract available. So like I said, guys, this would be probably how I would start this campaign. Our equipment is pretty blasted, but we don't have good equipment. And we're back up to 758 crowns. We could look at the hiring pool to see if there's anyone we want. Miners and farmers are generally good pickups. They're a little expensive though. Might want to grab that dude who's got a title of the miner. Of course, we can't do anything with taxidermy. Man, look at the cost of these tools. 173, that's awesome. And we can sell the amber shards. So let's do that. We kind of want to buy some tools. Let's get 1 stack of tools. We're at 4 days worth of provisions because we picked up some dried fruits. Gotta love it. And so whenever you're playing on higher difficulties, you really have to play the trading game. So right now, this is what's awesome. We can buy these copper ingots for way below market value at 190. They're worth 220, and if we go to the right place, we could probably sell them for 300, 330, something like that. Maybe in a place like Bramingstead or Hamsborg. Looks like this is a nice little triangle area here for questing, no doubt. They have militia barracks. This is also becomes more important too. They have lots of ruins, which isn't good. But this place has a blast furnace, a trapper. We don't know what these are. But that looks like a great city. They have a workshop, a hunter's cabin, an arrow maker's shed, so they should have a Fletcher, I would think. It's possible. But we're in a great area. I actually, like, if I was playing this just for myself, I would probably continue this Let's Play and be very happy about our opening start. Sucks that we lost 3 people, but, you know, that's why we put them in the front line. What are we going to do to make sure that doesn't happen again? So my idea is to hold on to throwing weapons. We might sell the crew javelins and just try and get as many, you know, standard throwing axes and things as we can get. And everyone will have quick hands on the front line. Everyone will use quick hands to throw in the beginning stages of the battle and then switch out. I got so much value from my throwing brothers in our last Let's Play that the idea of like having a bunch of frontline peasants throwing javelins sounds perfect. Very kind of like Roman military-esque. I don't want to waste money on, you know, armor that gives me 35. Like, if I'm going to be buying armor, I want to be buying something that's an upgrade, something like this. And though it's a little expensive because it's in an armory, it's not bad. The shield prices are what's getting me. This is a pretty good price for a shield. Okay, let's pick up a shield. Let's hire Werner the miner. He says, mining is tough work, the sort of job men like Werner flock to. But suffering from relentless coughs, the man felt maybe a career in fresh air would better serve him. If Werner can swing a sword as well as a pickaxe, then all is well. Alright, let's hire him. He's 260 up front. But we've got to have frontliners. And he is a brute, so his melee skill is lower, but he has increased damage when he hits someone in the head. Okay. He's got huge fatigue bonuses. Not sure yet how we can make proper use of that. Not yet, anyway. And I would love to pick up one more guy. Liebwin would be cool, but he's 310, which is so expensive. We're good for 4 days. Yeah, I'm tempted to buy this male coif to give to Asberg. And I think I will. That puts us down to 2 days, but if we sell the javelins, we're still at 2 days. Let's sell the club. Alright, we're back up to 3. And let's make sure our level 3 Barbarian doesn't just get one-shotted. He's also wearing our best armor at the moment. I will say when I did my last playthrough, not my last playthrough, but my last kind of start as the Peasants, I was given at the very beginning multiple of these leather lamellar armors. I had like 3 of these. So that was great. I mean, you'll see here, that was like 900, 1,000 gold worth of value that I just started with that I don't have access to now. So, okay. See this dark spot here? They want us to venture there, find a place. Okay. For the right price, we'll find it. 60 crowns in advance and another 230 when the job is done. I accept your offer. It's not far to the south this time. The region of Holmburn. So it's right here somewhere. We don't have to enter this place. They just want us to find it. Unfortunately, it's nighttime now. If it was daytime, we would just kind of climb the mountain. Alright, we found it. We walked right by it. It says, well, it's already time to return to Sigmund of Thal, as Hunter's Shack was easier to find than you figured. Marking it on your map, you pause and chuckle and shake your head. What luck. Okay. I'm inclined to go and take the fight. During camp, you feel good today, ready to lead the dirty peasants through any challenge to come. You gather the men around, kicking Sigurd the shepherd to his feet and telling Magnus to finish scraping away the hairs on his neck later. When their muttering has subsided, you start to address them. What do you tell the men of the company that they will do? Yeah, let's set out into the wilderness, discover the unknown, and plunder it, be it a wizard tomb, goblin camp, or aught else we may find. So this would be, I think, our first example of that. Other options are to get 2,000 crowns, which won't happen for a while. We're going to be spending every dollar we get. And then the other option is to get up to 16 men, which also won't happen. I'm going to try and hold at 12, because it really wrecks our experience gain and makes it so much more expensive in terms of food and things like that. But we're going to be winning these fights through numbers and attrition at the beginning. And then once we come out with our core of stronger brothers with better gear, we'll start to stabilize and win that way. So let's take that ambition. And something I was debating on doing. Ooh, this could actually be a little bit of a tough fight. So I was debating on doing this, guys. Saving the game before fights. So in my own personal playthroughs when nobody's watching, once again, I save the game before fights. And it's not so that I can cheese the fights. If I lose a brother, sometimes I won't even, it doesn't bother me. But the general idea is that, like, I'm sure most people save the game before fights. If you don't, you're playing on Iron Man mode, which is, you really want to challenge yourself and play as hard as you can. But for myself, I'm role-playing it, right? I'm trying to get into the characters. If I half wipe on a battle that was epic, I'm cool with that. But if I, am watching TV and playing the game at the same time and I lose a brother because I wasn't paying attention, like, I'll just restart it. I don't consider that to be a big deal. Sometimes I think we will save the game in these early stages, and sometimes we won't. Here we have some pretty serious injuries. We can tuck these in if we would like. Get some of our archers in the center there. But we're fighting armored Wiedergangers right now. Yeah, let's do it. And wish us luck. Maybe there'll be some terrain we could take advantage of here. Really just don't want to lose our Barbarian. And there's 9 of them. Some of them are going to be completely unarmored zombies like this, and others are going to be very well armored zombies like that. I think we need to back up and take some high ground. If we're going to do this, let's do it right. There's a nice little area right here. We can take some advantage. They're just going to mindlessly advance on us, which is fine. That's what we want. And we're going to circle up in some fashion here. But as I was kind of thinking, guys, don't let anyone make you feel ashamed to save the game before battles and stuff. I got lots of games to play. I got things to do. I got a wife, kids, I got things. So I cannot spend all day trying to do a same battle over and over again or get through, a particular point in a campaign. Like, I just can't do that. So I save the game. Feel no shame. Do what you got to do to enjoy your games. It's kind of one of the weird stigmas of strategy game communities. So my thoughts here are, like, how much of this high ground should we give them? Let's go here. Mostly we just want to make as much room as possible. And I like this as a back line for our pole arms. But I want to be thoughtful about where everyone else goes. I don't like having him on the low ground. Okay, most of them are unarmed. That's good. And for once, zombie gear is going to be a step up from the stuff we're wearing. They have their old rusted mail coifs and messed up padded leathers, but we will take them. Okay, I still have it set to how it was in our last playthrough, even though we don't have any adrenaline on this crew. Step up there. We'll leave Burke here. I like having the spearmen on this forward position. Step back. That's fine. Step back. I don't want them to get any kind of high ground. But I want to make sure that all my pole arms are relevant to the battle. So like these two here can't hit anything in our current configuration. Unless they go around, which they may not. I wish I had rotation because I would move one there and the other there. But he, however, can hit if we put him in the back. They shouldn't reach us this turn. Not very concerned. Alright, let's get Oswald back on high ground. I really hate that we're just wearing, like, shirts. 10 armor, 20 armor. Shield wall's our best friend with an army composition like this. We don't need our frontliners to do the damage, we need them to survive. So that all of these pitchforks and war forks can do the damage. This is going to be an interesting fight. I'm glad we have some high ground here to take advantage of. Sucks to miss all these attacks. I wish there was a little bit of an accuracy bonus to the sling as like a low skilled weapon or something. Although I imagine in real life it was probably incredibly hard to use the sling. Alright, take down that armor a little bit. So I mean obviously our big three threats are these. Let's get our spear wall back up. We're going to try and keep them off of this high ground. Get a lot of value out of an early game spear. I would basically trade all my frontline weapons currently for all spears. 39%. And we missed both of them. Feels bad. Okay, we have no attack there. No attack here. No attack there. Huh, no attack. Alright, good hit. We're going to shield wall and swing. May not even want to swing, obviously. Honestly, we may just want to shield wall, conserve our fatigue. Now, as much as the spear wall is protecting this like entire area here, it's also making it so that Osberg is without target. Let's actually jump him up here and attack. Wish we'd have done that last turn, but we're alright. And they broke our spear wall, which I expected. Alright. And we're just going to shield wall. We'll attack this guy. He's got a little bit of armor. Let's just take it down. Perfect. Now we need to expect some of them to come back to life. Alright, having a Scramasax in our back line feels bad. But if we can hit him a few times... Okay, didn't get lucky there. Yeah, moving from this position was a little bit tactically strange, but I think it's okay. I expected our spear wall to hold for one more turn, and it didn't. Alright, we hit him in the head, unfortunately. Alright, down he goes. So we don't have to worry about that weapon for now. We could knock him backwards, but it doesn't do any damage. Okay, we don't want to lose, brothers, if we don't have to, so... No, they broke the shield wall. Okay. And they took the high ground against us, but fortunately they did it with a guy that has no weapon. Decapitation there. Make sure he doesn't come back. Our misses with our ranged has been pretty disappointing. Hopefully Dietmar can survive. Replacing guys like him is going to get expensive. Alright, having him res was really bad. I feel every miss in my soul. Alright, we need him to hold. Good. Okay. That zombie had a decent weapon, and we did not want to get hit by it. I would love to step up and take the weapon from them. For now, though, I think I'm just going to go toe-to-toe with this guy, and that's because I don't want him getting onto Dietmar, who does rally. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring him up here. Oh god, we don't have our bandage equipped. He's got a cut artery. If we don't win this soon, he's going to die. I did not notice that. Okay. We don't have our bandage equipped, though. That's not even a guarantee that we would be near enough to him with someone who could use it. But it's still a bit of a mistake. Should definitely have that equipped. I don't remember exactly what the bleed damage is going to be. But I don't think we're going to be able to kill these guys this turn. This one just has, you know, he has real armor. Okay, I mean, we're hitting them. Just step one. We're going to go for this guy, even though he's the most dangerous. Because we have a lot of people who can hit him. Okay, he's still alive. He only took 3 damage. And this is a good spot. Alright, decapitation. He's not coming back. Very good. This is a good spot because he can hit both characters. And if we had to have a linchpin guy, at least it's Asberg. He's good for that. And let's move our boy here so he's not immediately next to any potentially resurrecting zombies. Alright, that's bad. Good hit. Nice. Down they go. You do get a penalty for trying to attack people who are immediately next to you. Oh no. Well, we just paid for him. And he's bleeding as well. Alright, that complicates things. And he's got one more turn before he dies. Missing both of those attacks was the worst possible thing. We could have potentially saved him. And potentially Werner, who I'm sure he's going to attack again. If he had just landed his attacks. Well, let's hope we're faster than a zombie. Thank goodness. And everyone lives. Albeit barely. And for our troubles, we get a signet ring, some food. Happily, we don't have to pay for food. Another spear, which we'll take, and only one hat. So one kettle hat. We had to destroy almost all that armor in order to take that place down. But it was worth it. No one died. So that's a victory. Magnus here levels. And student, of course, is just about always the first thing you want to pump. And let's look at what he's got going on. So, cancel this real quick. He's fearless, so he comes already with an extra 10 resolve. Because I was looking at this +4 resolve in the number 38, and I'm like, man, we got to get that up. But I think he's fine. Something like this. Want to get these health numbers up to 71, and then we can leave it alone. Good helmet. Let's give that to Asberg. Ernst gets the next best helmet. Let's get a couple spears. Those are the best weapons we have. You know, Skirmish Axe is probably better. 30 to 45 damage, yeah, versus 20 to 35. And we should give someone the bandage. The staff slings are interesting. They're so bad. You can daze people if you hit them in the head. I mean, that's cool. David and Goliath style. But I'm just happy we're surviving at this point. The brothers that we want to keep alive are staying alive. You know, we've raised our relations with Thal all the way to allied, which is amazing. And it's just a great starting city for us. So you report to Sigmund of Thal, telling him of Hunter's shack and its location. He nods and scribbles, copying the notes from your map. Curious, you ask how he knows you're not lying. The man sits down in a chair and leans back, clasping his hands over his belly. I invested in a tracker who kept close to your company. He made it here before you did, and you've but confirmed what I already know. Hope you don't mind the measures taken. Nodding. You think it a wise move and take your pay and go. Nice. And now we have even more stuff to sell. Signet ring. Let's get that out of here. Knives, we should definitely give those over to our ranged bros. Anything else? You know, we could probably sell the claw club. That's not something we're going to use. Sell one of these bludgeons. Of course, we need to give someone else the full Akaton cap for sure. They gotten any new people? No, not yet. Tempted to buy the closed mail coif. This is one of the best archer helmets in the game. You can use this all the way up until the mid game when you start having the ability to buy Saleh helmets. Don't want to buy the nasal helms. Once we start killing raiders and stuff, we'll be drowning in these. But this, however, is a slight investment because we know we'll be using it for a long time. Saleh helmets are not the easiest to come by. And until we... yeah, there we go. I was going to say, until we have the necessity to heavily armor our back line, we'll just continue putting whatever good bits of armor we get on the front line. Having a cut artery is going to take a while to heal. We have a crushed finger and a grazed neck. Lots of injuries. I love these war forks though. At least whenever they hit, they do serious damage. 40 to 60 is not bad. Werner will hold that. Is anyone not wearing a helmet at all? Okay, at least we have helmets. Mouthpiece is only 10, but it's something. Because I'm considering buying that farmer. Or hiring him, not buying him. But 5 days worth. We're kind of good on everything. Let's buy a stack of tools while we're here. A stack of ammo. The ammo is honestly not that cheap. These two need to have knives. Just in case. Are there any more shields or anything like that we want to make sure we buy from here and not from somewhere else? I don't see anything. So I think this is a good opportunity for us to go to another city before the end of today's episode and see what's what. I'm tempted to buy this leather lamellar, but that'll put us down pretty low. And we don't really have anything to sell to cover that kind of cost. And we also don't have any contracts to pick up. So let's go ahead and visit Bramingstead. They won't have any contracts for us. Neither will Holmesburg. But they might have things we can buy. And at the very least, we'll discover what's here. Oh, they do have contracts for us. I thought for sure that this was a... That's actually awesome. This is a better place than I thought. This is a large city. I saw this kind of like stone-looking area, but apparently it's not. That looks like wood. This is a large city that's not going to give us contracts. This might be an amazing city. They have a weaponsmith, a training hall, a tavern, a temple, tons of contracts, huge pools of guys we can hire from. They have a brawler here, a cripple. Don't necessarily want cripples. A militia would be good. He's very expensive though, because he comes leveled. But if I was going to play this seriously, I would start trying to replace pretty much everyone with militias. And probably have an entire company of militiamen. But there are some backgrounds that have unique benefits. Like caravan hands can permanently increase the size of your inventory. So they're worth considering to try and get them early. But let's see what's in the weaponsmith. Oh yeah, let's just buy a noble sword. Can't do that. Wish we could steal them though. I'd steal the hell out of a noble sword right now. That would be an interesting like dilemma. Like you could go into a shop or whatever and have like a role. Like maybe you have a thief character. Because there are thieves in the game. And maybe you do like a roll to see if you try and steal something. But if you miss the roll, you can like end up having to do like a fight with militia and really having the town be hostile towards you. Or you pay like a huge fine or something like that. That could be a cool thing to do. A way to kind of give value to people who have like weird and awkward backgrounds. What we should have done was buy the iron. Oh, the copper rather. That's what we should have done before we came here. We'll remember for next time though. We could have made, you know, 60, maybe 100. We don't have enough to buy all the copper that they have. Oh man, look at these busted shields. Get in my inventory. And they even have a few busted Akaton caps. The padded leather is what I really want. We'll sell that. Sell these two. Happy to pick these up. We don't need 2 of these for sure. So that gives us 3 more days. I would love to buy the padded leather. Let's see what the contract is. We're just at about an hour right now. And before we go, I would just want to kind of expand on my thoughts about this playthrough and what I think the strengths are and the weaknesses are of this particular origin. So a dog is snoring at the feet of Horik of Bramingstead. He leans forward to gently pet the hound behind its ears. I hear you have a nose for finding people, sellsword, for solving problems. You nod, it's true after all. Good, good, I have a task for you. A simple one. Something of great value to me has been stolen. My demonic statuette. I don't know if you need to be telling people about your demonic statuettes. I need you to track down those who stole it, kill them, obviously, and then bring it back to me. Okay, let's talk pay. 70 crowns up front. We'll accept that offer. It's not a lot, but we'll follow the tracks, get the statuette. Guys, this is where we're going to leave off for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pretty wild one. I mean, we lost 3 brothers in the first battle and picked up a barbarian. What a unique start, you know, and we've managed to make a great economy, you know, economic beginning. We're picking up a few good pieces here and there. We've managed to stabilize, I think, a little bit as far as the first few days go. Yeah, we're only on day 2. That's crazy. But I did talk a lot, so there's that. But guys, I think, you know, and we'll talk about this more as we go through day after day, and we get to the point in our campaign where we have 16, you know, brothers in one battle. We'll be able to talk more about the advantages and disadvantages. But for now, I would definitely say if you're going to start as the peasant company origin, my advice would be to not freak out about losing your first couple brothers, to identify very early on the brothers that you want to keep that are solid and the brothers that you don't, and then of course put the brothers that you think you can get rid of, put those guys in the most dangerous positions early on, and then, you know, afterwards, you know, if you start losing brothers that you think are pretty good, fine, but don't be discouraged. You'll be able to pick up, you know, later when your economy is stable. You know, it's not like buying a hedge knight in the late game that costs 7,000, you know, crowns to grab. I mean, you're always going to be able to buy militiamen for 1,000 crowns. You're always going to be able to buy poachers for, you know, 900 crowns. It's losing people is something that I hate doing because they feel like, you know, long-term investments. But I think in this playthrough, you got to get over that and, you know, just find a way to make it through. Obviously, picking up a barbarian here was a huge bit of luck. And he seems awesome, Osberg. He doesn't have anything kind of really special about him, but his stats are going to be good by the end. And if I was playing this, you know, for keeps, I would definitely want to hold on to him for as long as possible. And yeah, let's see what other unique brothers you can do. And I would say, guys, take advantage of this type of playthrough to explore the different backgrounds. Right? We've got so many different type of backgrounds on our brothers already. We've got miners, militia, barbarian, farmer. Probably have a lot of farmers and militia. Day tellers. We have shepherds and poachers, fishermen, and a minstrel. And our minstrel, surprisingly, is probably the most jacked dude we have on our team, Oswald. That's hilarious. Gotta remember that. But guys, if you would like to have a named character for some of these short campaigns, then that's totally cool with me. I hope that you guys put those in the comment section down below, and also while I'm thinking about it, I'm pull open my notes real quick. I do have one. So Ulvir Wolfsbane was recommended for Cybernaut, and I think that's what we're going to name our barbarian here. Nope, that's not how he wants it spelled. Wolfbane. You know what? Maybe Wolfbane should be a title. That's probably correct. Ulver Wolfbane. That's a very good name for a barbarian. Thank you so much, Cybernaut, for wanting a named character. It's still pretty early in the playthrough. We're on day 2. We've made great progress, honestly, in 2 days. It's kind of amazing. Our trajectory is pretty high right now. But if you would like a named character, and you wouldn't be afraid to have him die, because I can't make any guarantees at this point, then feel free to put it in the comment section down below, along with any map seeds you guys have that you think are great. And maybe I can experiment with those map seeds as we get to the different company origins. So guys, without any further ado, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If we're only on day 2 after an hour, then maybe look for these to each be like, I don't know, maybe 10 episodes apiece. That sounds pretty much, yeah, that sounds about right. So maybe about 10 episodes worth. And I hope you enjoy them. And if you want me to go out of order and do, you know, anyone's in any particular order, if anyone is like really, you know, craving to see like the deserter start or the poacher start or any of those, as opposed to some others, and there's a general consensus towards that, then I will definitely take that into consideration and we could do them out of order. So no big deal. I'm super flexible. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and as always, y'all, I will see you in the next one. Take care.